Welcome back, friends. My name is Zephyr, and in today's stream, we're going to be, hopefully, completing Disc 1 of Final Fantasy 9. Udo, thank you so much for the follow just right away, man. How you doing today? Man, today I think we are, I guess, one away from hitting almost 100, guys. Holy crap, I didn't even realize that until, I was starting to just how close we are. Good morning, One Heart. Oh, rocking the emotes just right away with Machamp. Yeah, awesome. I mean, we're pretty damn close. I did not even realize that. How you doing though, Rudo? I hope you're having an awesome... I hope I'm saying that right. I'm thinking it looks like Rudo, right? I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you all are having an awesome day. I switched my schedule around a little bit, so I do not have to open this morning, so I'm feeling pretty decent about that. But what about you guys? How you doing today? All good, thanks. That's awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear. Are you a pretty big Final Fantasy fan? Are you a pretty big Final Fantasy fan, man? We've been playing, I think we played 7 Remake, 8, and now we're on 9. I think after 9 we might do 13 or something. That's good. Opening sucks. Yeah, man, I'm feeling what it's like going back to work, you know? After all these months off. Woo, it's like the real world is punching me in the face again, you know? Yeah, especially 9. I love 9. 9 and 7 are probably my two absolute favorite Final Fantasies. What about you, man? Do you got a favorite Final Fantasy? Yeah, 9 is just something special, I think. It's so good. It's so good. I had never played 8 before until last month, and I loved 8. I was not expecting to like 8 as much as I did. So my whole plan yesterday was to try to finish Disc 1, but I just seemed to talk a lot. I just seem to talk a lot to you guys, so I guess we're gonna try to actually finish this one today. 9 easy, and then probably Type 0. I've never tried Type 0. I haven't tried too many of the spin-off ones, but a lot of people say they really like Type 0, and then they also say Crystal Chronicles is really good. I've never tried that one, and Tactics. Literally, everyone on the internet, everyone in the world says Final Fantasy Tactics is amazing. And I've never played Tactics. You can do it. I hope so. I hope so. You can ask anyone here. I just seem to not be able to shut up sometimes. You know, it's like sometimes you got those things on your mind, you just kind of want to get them out, you know? Everyone but me. You hate Tactics. Why do you hate Tactics? I think you really might be the first person I've heard to say that. I'm super curious. Ooh, receive more money. Of course we want that, right? More money, more problems? Isn't that the saying? Yeah, I just have never, I don't know. I just have never played Tactics, but, yeah. I do like Final Fantasy 12 though. I love 12. I love the world of Ivalice. It's really beautiful. Yeah, I haven't really played much of 13, and I haven't beaten 15, so honestly, I don't like Ivalice the Tactics. 12 don't like the art or the music. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. It's definitely a different departure than some of the other Final Fantasies, you know, in the steampunk genre, in the fantasy genre. The heart wants what it wants. Absolutely. You know, and I love hearing people's opinions on stuff, because some people just absolutely love Final Fantasy 13, and some people hate Final Fantasy 13. And it's that pretty much with most games, so just hearing the different opinions, hearing people's thoughts on them is super fascinating, you know? Or them damn Moogles. A lot of people love it though, so for me 12 feels like dude, totally. said on multiple times. It's literally Star Wars with Final Fantasy characters. I totally agree. That's funny. You know what it kind of reminds me of a little bit is, if it's like, yeah, definitely like Star Wars, but Vaughn is not near, in my opinion, Vaughn is not near the quality of like Luke Skywalker. I just feel like Vaughn doesn't really evolve too much as a character, you know? And for me, and one of the reasons I love 9 and I love Vivi so much, is when a character goes from like point A to point B, you know, and they change and develop. So having a little bit of growth, a little bit of character development, I think goes a long way. Nope. Disagree, One Heart? On which part? Magic Hammer. I think Queena can learn that. That steals MP. Oh, totally agree. What system are you playing this on? I am playing this on the PlayStation 4. Good old PS4. I still got my original launch date PS4 from like, what, 2013? Thing is still going strong on me. I cannot wait to throw The Last of Us Part 2 on there and just watch it explode. Or Ghost of Tsushima. Even with my headphones on, when I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, I could like legitimately hear the fans on it, so it's pulling in some work for sure. I've heard a lot of people say they, I think this is available on the Switch, and a lot of people say that it's really, really good on the Switch as well. What is it about 9, though, that you really, really love so much? I just love the gameplay of 9, the way you like level up stuff, even though it's a little nonsensical compared to like the rest of the game with like the crystals and magic. The armor, equipping armor and weapons and learning abilities, I think is super, super creative and neat. And I really love the story between Zidane and Garnet and a lot of the characters. Okay, if it was a PC, there's an awesome mod that reduces all the, or redoes all the textures amazingly. Yeah, one of my buddies, King, he's playing Final Fantasy 8 right now with like all the mods and stuff turned on, and the pre-rendered backgrounds just look incredible. You know, it's so crazy that they did remaster these games and they left the pre-rendered backgrounds like this, which it's not terrible, but it's noticeable, you know? Whereas like now you have all these modders that can just, I don't know if it's like AI upscaling or what, but they can just like completely redo it. And it's so impressive. I was talking with a buddy about this last night. Vaughn and Penella are kind of non-characters when Ash or Bosch are really the protagonists. I totally agree. I totally 1000% agree. Totally agree. I think like it's really Ash's story about really developing and becoming the queen and taking back the leading the resistance against the Empire, essentially. Bosch's story of redemption, and then Balthier and Fran are just like Han Solo kind of characters, you know? So I totally agree. I totally agree. You'd think Vaughn and Penella would kind of be like these Luke Skywalker kind of characters, but they're not. They're not. They're essentially just kind of along for the ride, you know? They're in the background, they're tagging along. They don't seem to be providing too much, you know? But a lot from what I've read has to do with like a lot of the development history behind 12, so there's a lot of conflict between writers, so that would make sense. Maybe not conflict as much as additions. It's worse when there's AI upscaling now, which these companies could use, but hey, oh, most of the time they do have to at least make money. Fran is the Wookiee. Fran is an incredibly attractive Wookiee. Yeah, it's crazy, like, that modders have access to these tools that, I mean, we would assume the developers would have. I mean, we know the developers have, and they don't use it. It really must be, like, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, it's not just about the money, but, like, when it's 2020 and you're releasing Final Fantasy 9 remastered and 8 remastered, like, it's probably about the money, you know? I always knew I liked Wookiees. Hey, I love me some Wookiees. Anyone can have it. You can literally download it from GitHub. That just makes it worse. That is just so readily available. It's kind of like Unreal Engine 5. Like, I love that Unreal Engine 5 is just so free. Like, and I think Unreal Engine 4 was the same way. Like, literally, just anybody could download the software and just build games. And then I think they said, like, they don't take any profit until, like, over $1 million, or, like, a cut of anything until you make over $1 million, which is just awesome. That's just a great way of getting creative minds out there to just try things, you know? Well, look who we have here. Yeah, it makes me sad. It does. And, I mean, like, I don't think the pre-render backgrounds are, like, super, like, terrible in the sense that it brings down the game. They're just, like, noticeably meh. Noticeably, yeah. Hey, buddy, do you want to buy something? Stiltskin. My favorite Moogle. Man, there was this debate yesterday or a couple days ago on, like, who's the best Moogle in Final Fantasy history. Do we have any opinions about that? I had to put Stiltskin as probably my favorite Moogle. Although Mog from Final Fantasy VI was pretty close up there. I was wondering about that. Do they have their fill cut once you reach 1 million, or once you have 1 million to start taking money? So from what I read and what I understood, it's from 0 to 1 million, they don't take anything. And then it's only your $1,000,001 forward they start taking it on. So if you make $1 million, you're good. If you make $1,001, then they'll start taking a little bit off that $1 and forward. You know, which I think is super cool. Because, I mean, like, what's the percentage of games of any kind, of any variety, that are made that make over $1 million? Probably not very many. Maybe 10%? You know? Because a lot of them are probably app developers, or a lot of them are probably just hobbyists. But I love they're giving people creative freedom and expression, you know? It's super cool. I love companies that do stuff like that. Thanks, this will keep me going for another week or so. Yeah, Stiltskin is best Moogle in Final Fantasy. Ooh, Mog Shop. Oh, I had forgotten about this. Needle Fort. Ooh, Mithril gloves. I'm sure Steiner was gonna love those. Steepled hats, headgear. That's super cool then. I thought both ways would still be really cool, but that's super cool of them, because basically they're getting paid from AAA games and potential Pobby Fox. Right. I wish more companies would kind of do stuff like that, you know? Because, like, I mean, even if they don't make any money from it, you know, even if they don't make a single penny from it, and, you know, developers or, like, people who try it out make a couple games that don't really do anything, it at least gets their name out there, you know? It's almost kind of ingenious when you think about it. Because it's free, nobody has any reason to try any other software, you know? You know, why would you try other software that you have to pay for when you can just try Unreal Engine for free? Moogle carries your chalice and puts up with you painting them and shaving them in Crystal Chronicles. Oh, there's a... Did you guys know there's an achievement in Final Fantasy IX where if you call the Moogle and dismiss him, like on the world map multiple times, where you call him and he goes to save or tent, and you dismiss him multiple times, he'll essentially say he's gonna go get his knife and sharpen it. Like a stabbing reference. And you get a trophy for that. I didn't know that. Well, Epic is owned by Tencent. Oh, really? Epic is owned by Tencent? I did not know that. That's super interesting, actually. For anybody that doesn't know, Tencent is one of the world's biggest corporations based in China. Yeah, so, and we all know, and it's well known that so is Riot, really? And it's well known that, like, a lot of these Chinese corporations have very incredibly close ties with the Chinese government. That is incredibly interesting. That is incredibly interesting, actually. I did not know that at all. Ooh, letter from Atla. Thanks for delivering the letter from Mogkey, Kupo. I heard that Stiltskin is headed in your direction, Kupo. I've never met him. Tell me what he's like if you meet him, Kupo. We got Stiltskin right here. Check and see if he travels with a map of the entire world and with rare items, like the rumor says, Kupo. He does have rare items. I knew about Riot, though, because I think Epic technically bought them, so they would have brought in together, right? Interesting. Yeah, people crying about Epic Store Chinese spying or whatever, yet they probably spend hundreds of hours on Riot games like League or Valorant. I mean, yeah, like, all that stuff is just so crazy to me. I mean, because we all know that selling our information, selling just kind of like all the information that we use, all the information that we buy, like selling it to various companies all around the world is just such a huge amount of profit to be made in that. So I don't know, that is just so interesting. That is my fact of the day that I did not know. Stiltskin is my hero. I'll give you this in exchange for delivery. I have a favor to ask, Kupo. Deliver a letter to Monive. Thanks, Kupo. Lauren looks so good, though. I've never played it. There are so many games. You know what? One of these days, I want to do a stream where I just, for like 1 hour, just play like all the top Twitch games that I've never played before, which is practically all of them. Never played Fortnite. Never played PUBG. Never played League. Never played Valorant. Just never played any of those. But they're so huge. They're like gigantic on Twitch. They're like the biggest games on Twitch. Oh. I think this is so cool. I think it'd be so cool in a Final Fantasy game, or just like games going in the future, if we get like weapons, similar to how Frey's getting the spear right now. Like when you get a weapon or a piece of armor or a shield or something, it's like reflective in the world. Is there anything here we can use? Oh, we'll just take this random spear. Let's go. The spear. I mean, there's also a gigantic battle axe on the right side of the screen. We could take that. It's pretty light and easy to use. Received Mithril Spear. Alright, let's go beat up some black mages. Come on, you know I don't mean you. I know. But, never mind. Oh, Vivi. Vivi. Oh, Vivi. I couldn't get into League, but Lauren is like, Overwatch deathmatch, right? I think so, but I really can't play shooters, so I didn't even bother trying it. I haven't played an FPS in so damn long. I really think the last FPS I played was Halo 5 on the Xbox, and I actually don't even think I beat it. I feel like I was just so bummed about the story. I was just like not digging any of it. I was just like, where is Master Chief? He wasn't like really in the game too much. Yeah, and I didn't even finish it. I was pretty good. I was actually pretty decent at Halo, at least. But yeah, I think the thing that's just playing some of these online first-person shooters, man, you can get thrown in an arena with a master. I mean, you're pretty much dead on arrival, you know? I played Crucible, but again as a shooter third person, but I suck so much I feel bad for anyone who's on my team. Yo, JP, how you doing this morning? Or this evening? How you doing today? Feel bad for anyone who's on my team. No, that would probably be me, honestly. That would probably be me. I'd get in the arena, I'd have no idea what's going on. I'd just be getting shot left and right, and then I'd just be... I'm sorry, teammates, I'm dying. Jeez, this is terrible. Frey, I'm sorry, but from the looks of this, I don't think the king made it. What should we say? Should we consult? I was gonna say consolidate. Should we console Freya Should we leave her alone, or should we think about the love interest, Dagger? I wonder if Dagger's all right. No, that's messed up. Freya's in an emotional spot right now. We should probably talk to her, right? I need to go out soon, but I don't want to miss the boss fight. Oh, Beatrix? Beatrix is up and coming. Let's talk to her. I feel like that's the right thing to do. I don't know what to tell you. We can only hope that the king and the others escaped. Alright. We'll leave her alone. Vivi, let's go see what's over there. I think Beatrix is like, what, 5 minutes from here? There's someone inside the palace. What are you waiting for? Get up here. You make it sound so easy. I guess I'll start here. You gotta feel bad for Vivi and Quina, though. Come on. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. I like his pants. They're like little clown jester kind of pants. I'm gonna go on ahead. Try to find a way up. I'll meet you up top. I meet you after I eat food inside palace. Do you do any streaming yourself, Rudo? We got a couple streamers who... Oh, there they are, yeah. Man, Beatrix is so awesome. I have done, not for a while. Who is that? I knew she was behind all this. What do you mean you knew? I decided to return to Burmecia. I heard rumors that Braun had set her sights on our kingdom, and that girl standing next to her must be Beatrix, Alexandria's general. That's Beatrix? A cold-blooded knight who knows no mercy? Beatrix. That's such a cool name, I think. I'd name, like, I don't know, I think Beatrix is such a cool name. Moving in 2 weeks, so I'll start where I'm in the new place. Oh, start streaming again? Dude, that's super, super cool. What are you gonna stream? Do you have, like, any particular games you're interested in streaming? Beatrix is so cool. She is so cool. She is, like, the ultimate badass. Beatrix. And you know she's a badass because she, like, destroys us so hard multiple times in the game. Yes, Beatrix. I hear there are many fierce warriors out in the world, some more powerful than even I. Beatrix of Alexandria in particular. They say her swordsmanship is the best in the land. Sir Freightly, do you still insist on going on your journey? Yes. Please understand, Freya. Right now, Burmecia is at peace, while other nations are slowly but surely gaining power. I don't know if my spear alone is enough to protect Burmecia, which is precisely why I must go out into the world. Sir Freightly, I don't think I can live on my own. Not without you. Freya, you're going to be fine. Trust your strength, and have faith in your destiny. Once I complete my journey around the world, I will return to Burmecia. And promise me, one more time, that you will return. I promise. Freightly. It's nice when they let you control her. Oh, Beatrix, yeah. Her limit breaks are just my favorite. You never came back. You've left me nothing except rumors of your death. I couldn't believe it. I still won't believe it. Never. Not until I witness proof of your death with my own eyes. And I will travel across the world forever if I must. Are you alright? Yes. I was just thinking about the past. You still can't get over him, huh? Who is that? One thing I will say I really do appreciate in the Final Fantasy games, they seem to do a good job of setting up, like, a villain in the very beginning who you think's the bad guy, or bad person or whatever, and then, like, a good 25-30% into the game, they, like, pull the curtain back and start to reveal who the real bad person is. Like, they did that with Genova in 7, they did that with Ultimecia in 8, they're doing that with Kuja in 9. I like that kind of storytelling, you know? Been meaning to try that mod that allows you to have her in your party. What? For a whole lot of the game and changes some story points, but I love the game so much I feel like it is blasphemy. I've seen stuff like that with like New Threat in Final Fantasy VII, where it's the same game, but there's like story beat changes and like character additions and just like weird changes kind of sprinkled throughout that make it seem so like a new game. You're like playing the same game, but it's in a new way, you know? Dude, that would be so cool. I would totally be down to try that, especially if it like changes some story points. That'd be really interesting to see, I think. Beatrix is just... she's a badass. Controlling Beatrix and then controlling Edea in Final Fantasy VIII is just like, hell yeah. If only we could have controlled Sephiroth for just a little bit. I don't know. Maybe not controlling Sephiroth is better, because you really get to understand his power, you know? Yeah, but Knight is my baby. No one should touch it. Fair enough, fair enough. Can we at least change the trance system so we can control it? The trance system is probably my least favorite aspect of 9. It's really cool, and I like the abilities and stuff. I just hate how you cannot control it. It just randomly pops in. And it always seems to pop up at like the worst time. I find this rain quite pleasant. This was literally me yesterday in Washington. I live in Washington State, and it was like downpouring yesterday. And on my lunch break from work, I just walked outside in like the pouring rain, and I'm just like, I love the rain. It feels as though the raindrops are blessing our victory. This is a great victory for us. Kuja, your black mages made this conquest so simple. My only concern now is finding the King of Burmecia. We must take care of him once and for all, and prevent these rats from ever rising up again. Beatrix, what's taking so long? I don't know, your majesty. I've ordered Zorn and Thorn to search the perimeter, but there's been no word so far. I will join them and lead the search right away. You're wasting your time. What? Rats often look for new homes when they sense an earthquake. They probably moved to the sandy treehouse by now. So, you see, it's too late. The king has already turned tail and fled. Sandy treehouse. Surely you don't mean Claire. Is it Clara? Slira? I feel like that's Clara, right? I feel like 8 has one of the worst final bosses. It is so good, but you don't know her till the end, if I remember well. Yeah, I agree. I think I wouldn't say worst final boss, because I actually really love the whole ending of Final Fantasy VIII. Like the boss, not as much the story aspect of it, just the Ultimisia was freaking badass, man. She was awesome, but the meaning of it, the story elements of it, I agree. It was just like I wanted more. That's probably my statement of Final Fantasy VIII. I just wanted more characters. I wanted more character development. I wanted more character development for Ultimisia. I wanted more character development for the characters. I just wanted more characters, you know? That's the thing that left me, or that I take away from Final Fantasy VIII, is I wanted more character development. But yeah, Ultimisia's castle at the end, hands down, one of my absolute favorite parts in any Final Fantasy series ever. Just awesome. Clara. I think it's Clara. It'd be quite difficult if they escaped to Clara. Clara. Unless we can get through that sandstorm, it will be impossible to attack them. Sneaky little rats. Kuja, what do you think? Surely with your powers, there must be something you can do. Of course, your majesty. I will present you a marvelous display of my power. I am certain that you will be most pleased. I was wondering if you would gather your troops near Clara. I am certain those filthy rats will retaliate in full force, and my black mages may not be enough. Kuja's outfit is definitely on the head-scratching side. Like, what are you wearing, my friend? Sounds like we got trouble. That sinister man. Who is he? Beats me. I've never seen him before. Well, it sounds like they're going to Clara. I've always wondered why people call it the City of Illusion. I don't know either. Clara has remained in isolation for 100 years. My people escaped to there. They'll be safe. At least for a while. What's this place like? The people of Clara are originally from Burmecia. Long ago, they severed ties with Burmecia over a trivial conflict. Now the kingdom is at peace, shielded by a large sandstorm. Look, there's someone else coming. Oh, is that Dan? He's gonna get himself killed. Burmecia will never fall. Prepare to die. You wish to fight me, Beatrix of Alexandria? Beatrix? I commend your courage, but I will show you no mercy. Hold it! You'll have to deal with us first. We'll take care of this. Go find the king. Protect him with your life. Thank you, Freya. I've never been so humiliated in my life. I once killed 100 knights single-handedly. To me, you two are nothing more than insects. Oh, and the music. I think it plays like her theme. Yeah, it is. I don't know why, but I just love boss battle, or just music like this in the Final Fantasy games when it's like not the boss battle theme. Holy crap. Yes, she kicks butt, I remember now. Oh, and she's got such good items to steal, but she's so powerful that she can like one-shot me. Woo! Oh boy. I don't even got magic. Okay, Vivi, you're gonna be my healer, buddy. This part of the game is actually pretty tough because you don't have Garnet and you don't have a white mage to heal you. Oh my god. Okay. Jeez. Let's see. I agree with the thing about music. It really sets these important fights apart. I totally agree. Like, one of my favorite things in Remake was when you'd be in, like, the Mako reactor and you'd get in a battle and, like, the battle theme didn't pop up. It was just the Mako reactor theme, like, sped up and a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more drums in it. Oh, yeah. I love that. All right, Zidane. Oh, no. She's, like, insta-killing. Oh, God. Okay. And we have to die at, like, a certain time. Crap. Okay. Holy crap. I don't know if I can steal. She's just gonna wreck me if I keep trying to steal. Oh, she has... I think she has, like... Does she have the Gladius or something? She's got a really good weapon, too. Oh, boy. Who are we insta-killing? Oh, we're... Oh, my God. Holy crap. Okay. Man, and that's the thing with using Phoenix Downs, too, is they only restore, like, 3 health. So, like, you're kind of dead. Oh, boy. You survived, Vivi. Good man. Yeah, and it's like, you know, I mean, even listening to this theme, like, you don't even need extremely intense boss battle music for it to feel epic. Like, this feels epic. Oh, here we go. You're no match for me. Stop. Oh, ignorant fools. Welp. Oh boy. I remember terrified this battle made me have jumped because even though Freya was safe, I completely lost the person and everyone just dropped like flies. That still affect... Oh, I guess it would, yeah. Even when she's jumped in the air, it still affected her. How ridiculously weak. Isn't there anyone who is worthy of facing me? Come, Beatrix. We must prepare to attack Clara. Yes, your majesty. Now, what do we have here? Another filthy rat, and... This boy could become a problem. Because he recognizes him right here, right? Like, he knows who... Kuja knows who Zidane is right here, right? Man, Beatrix, like, really almost killed them. white dragon. It's like a rainbow dragon. Wait, do we not even get the end of disc 1 scene? Does it just go straight to disc 2? There's been a lot of trouble lately. Man, that was just awesome. If I'm being 100% honest, like, I do not think Kuja's outfit. Kuja has a very interesting outfit. Like, what is Kuja wearing, honestly? But yeah, that fight with Beatrix is just awesome. I'm bummed I didn't even get to steal whatever she was carrying. I think she was carrying like a pretty decent sword or something, or some cool daggers. Kuja just wants to be comfortable, yo. Yo, Thalion, how you doing, buddy? I mean, does that look comfortable? That didn't really look very comfortable, but if it's comfortable, more power to you. If Kuja's comfortable, more power to him. I mean, obviously, being the most powerful person in the world, he can wear whatever he wants, so. Oh, you mean about Bermucia? Are you a pretty big Final Fantasy IX fan? Man, I don't know if I've met a single person that, like, doesn't like Final Fantasy IX. It's just so good. It's just such a good game. Belts and pants, that's about it. Pants is putting it nicely. I heard they were attacked by an army of soldiers wearing pointy hats. I love Final Fantasy IX. Genuinely think it's the quintessential Final Fantasy. We can absolutely be friends. I love reading that. I agree. I think when I think of Final Fantasy, so easy to think of like 7 or 10, but like fantasy Final Fantasy, you know, like this is, I totally agree. I totally agree. This is the quintessential. It's got everything. It's got the summons, it's got the Moogles, it's got the Chocobos, it's got the crystals, it's got the magic, the world. It's very medieval, and I like it a lot. I totally agree. Here they were attacked by an army of soldiers wearing pointy hats. I want to go fight on the front line? Instead, I'm rotting away in the stinking place. Really? I don't like wars. Why would someone start a war? Guy who passed through here with a huge bag. He looks suspicious to you? No, I don't think so. Weren't you the one who thought he was suspicious? You know me. I'm always like that. I'm telling you, people who eat pickles are nice people. Oh, one heart. Pup love? Alright. Is it okay if I think my pups are still asleep with my wife at the moment. Is it okay if I maybe hold off for like maybe 20-30 minutes? Because I think they're waking up at like 8 a.m. Is it okay if we maybe just wait a little bit, my friend? That's all good. So I think I redeemed pup treats yesterday. Let's see. Okay, gotta go. If you're still streaming about 30 minutes, I'll be back. All right, Rudo. I think I should still be streaming, but hope to see you back soon, mate. Yeah. So yesterday, I think someone redeemed the pup treats while they were still sleeping, and I called them, and I didn't know my wife was still sleeping, and they like totally stepped all over her and woke her up in a not so friendly way. So after the stream, I went to her. I'm like, "Hey, how's your morning?" She was not very happy with me. So, but yeah, once they wake up, maybe we'll give them 2 treats. Not funny, but not funny, but a little funny. maybe we'll give them 2 treats. I'm telling you, people. So, I don't really like pickles very much. I'm not a super big pickle person myself, so am I not a nice guy? Oh, Thalion, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Oh my goodness. Thalion. Stallion. I think you just put us at 100 followers. If I can recall. My friend, did we just hit 100? Did we just hit 100? Watch as like somebody unfollows. Yeah. 100. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Both hands in the air. Congrats, man. Thank you. Woohoo! Let's go. 100. My goodness. Wow. We went from 2 digits to 3 digits. We got 3 digits. Oh my goodness. But honestly, thank you so much, Sally, and super happy to have you, friend. Man, this has just been such an this has just been an unbelievable experience. Like, just streaming, hanging out with people, just all of you guys. Man. And I say it in every stream, but it really is true. None of this is possible without each and every one of you. So you all make this channel what it is, and I'm incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. Just thank you all a ton. Man. And I do have some pretty fun ideas coming up, so definitely hope you guys will be excited for those. Maybe some music stuff, maybe some podcast stuff with some other streamers. I think that'd be super, super cool. You know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll have to do what is it, like a watch party? Like a little movie night? That'd be pretty fun. I'm excited to find a man of culture who loves Final Fantasy IX, and you seem like a pretty genuine dude. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I absolutely love Final Fantasy IX. It is neck and neck with 7 for probably my favorite, not even my favorite Final Fantasies, but probably my 2 favorite video games of all time. Like 7 and 9 are just incredibly special games. They really are. I envy him. Gasol pickles are the only pickles I can't eat. Yeah, I've just never been super crazy about pickles myself. I don't know. I don't know if it's the vinegar. Or like, yeah, I don't know. I've just never been a big pickle person. As we're talking about pickles now. You're really confusing, you know that? I know. Why do you think I ended up here? Yeah, I think we are skipping the end of disc 1 scene. It's just going straight to, that's pretty cool, though. Man, she is, I mean, even in PS1 upscaled graphics, Garnet's really pretty. She is. Like, her and Zidane are just, like, a really cute video game couple, I think. The way he, like, earns her, not earns, but, like, gets her to fall in love with him. It just feels more natural from start to finish than 8 did, if I'm being honest. Sounds like you would have trouble getting through the gates if it were up to that guard. You don't like pickles? You're not allowed entry. I don't care what that ticket says. Get out of here. Conductor said we'll be arriving at the summit station soon. Oh, this is, I think this is the Black Mage, or Black Waltz, number 3, again. Garnet's in relationship is so organic, probably the most organic relationship in Final Fantasy. Ooh, I would agree. I would agree. Like, it just how flirtatious Zidane is, and then just how much Garnet wants to just be free from all of that. It just, like, slowly develops, and you're right, it is so organic. And I think that's something that I didn't really like about Final Fantasy VIII. The whole Squall Renoa thing just came so fast, and it literally starts in, like, the, like, 70% through the game, so it didn't feel as convincing. It didn't feel like, I don't know, organic. Organic's totally the word. Like, it didn't feel as organic. Whereas this, because it starts from the very beginning all the way to the very end, there's so much more development for it. So I agree. I think Tidus and Yuna is pretty decent too, but I think I agree. I like Garnet and Zidane a lot. Miss Dagger? She's sleeping. It would have been so interesting if they had gone with, like, a legit romantic relationship in Final Fantasy VII. Because you kind of get the feeling that Aerith and Cloud are kind of a thing, like it's alluded to. I don't know, but it didn't seem like it was going. I don't know. It seems like it was going there, but wasn't quite all the way, you know? It would have been really interesting to see if maybe they had changed some of the writing to have maybe Tifa and Cloud get a little bit closer. I don't know. It's alluded to at that scene under the high wind. And you know what scene I'm talking about. The scene under the high wind with Tifa and Cloud. But I don't know. The princess believes what she heard from Queen Braun. Queen Braun would never start a war. It's all a misunderstanding. She will see that when she talks to the queen. I need not concern myself with such matters. My only mission is to protect the princess. Summit Station, Summit Station. Have you ever played Vagrant Story, Thalion? And One Heart? Everyone, I've heard a lot of people say Vagrant Story is just super, super good. I really don't know much about it, but like a lot of people are saying that's just like a phenomenal RPG. That and Legend of Dragoon. Those are probably the two PlayStation 1 RPGs like I really, really, really want to play. No, I don't know anything about it. I don't know much about it myself. Just a lot of people have been recommending it and saying they really, really like it. So, and it's made by Squaresoft from the 90s, so they were on a roll then. Unfortunately, I haven't played Vagrant Story. Legend of Dragoon is hyped though. I definitely want to play Legend of Dragoon. A lot of people say I like really, really, really should play it. Like if I like these PlayStation 1 Final Fantasies, a lot of people say I probably would like Legend of Dragoon as well. I want a remake of it so much. Man, when I was watching like Trials of Mana, and I think One Heart and I were talking about this, but like Trials of Mana, the one that just came out, I would love a Chrono Trigger remake in like that, in that kind of style. I think that'd be so cool. Thank you very much. Take care. You'll have to wait a while until the car to Alexandria arrives. How long will it be? It arrives when this car returns to Bowden Station, so about as long as you just spent in the car. Why don't you go wait in the rest area up ahead? Okay. What's wrong, Steiner? Princess. Hey, what did I say about it's Alexandria? We're finally home. Really? Yeah, I haven't bought Trials of Mana, but I played the demo, a little bit of the demo, and it looked really cool. And I've watched a little bit of you, One Heart. I think I was watching yesterday or the day before. It looks really cool. It does. It's like this really cool kind of like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Dragon Quest XI a little bit. Trials of Mana does. But in like that really cool art style. I think a Chrono Trigger remake like that could be super, super cool. I would just honestly love it if they could just upscale Chrono Trigger to 1080p and just throw it on the PlayStation 4. I'll give you all my money. I would love to play Chrono Trigger again. We're home. Have you played Chrono Trigger, Thalion? It would be so, so good. I finally got into Trials and I'm loving the game so much. Some of the American dialogue is but still amazing. I feel like that's just, man, is that such a common thing with like JRPGs or like just Japanese games? Like translating them from Japanese to English, there always seems to be some hiccups. Is it just like the Japanese language is, I don't know, do things just translate differently with how they're spoken? And I don't know. But yeah, it seems like that's a common thing with Japanese games getting translated. There's always some kind of hiccup here or there. Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite JRPGs. Oh, right, we can absolutely be friends, dude. It's so good, a true classic. I think localization teams tend to be too literal, maybe. Yeah, so I bought a Super Nintendo with like a Frame Master upscaler so I could play it on my TV. My flat screen or whatever. And yeah, I played Chrono Trigger first, and then I played for the first time ever, and it was incredible. And then I played Final Fantasy VI for the first time ever, and it was incredible. And then I turned right back around and played Chrono Trigger again, and then played Final Fantasy VI again. So I spent like 2 months just playing Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, and it was like just awesome. Just awesome. Both of those games, like as somebody that loves 2D art and like that 16-bit style, it was just like incredibly beautiful. Which is so crazy that there are so many people that like don't like that kind of 2D art style, or they play, you know, those older games and they're like, these graphics suck. And I'm like, these graphics do not suck at all. These graphics look incredible. These graphics are so detailed and so polished and so colorful and pristine. Like, no, 2D graphics do not suck. Like Chrono Trigger, the graphics look amazing. Final Fantasy VI graphics look amazing. If I'm being 100% honest, I would love like a Final Fantasy 7 or 8 or 9 demade into like 2D graphics. That would be awesome. If we could get Final Fantasy 7 remake in like a Final Fantasy 6 style, I would buy that up so damn fast. Yeah, you have to have a really good translation team to make the jokes and things work. I bet jokes are probably the hardest part, like the humor. If you want a solid modern JRPG, hit up the Trials of Cold Steel games. Oh, I don't know if I've ever heard of those ones. Or the Trails of Cold Steel. I like to kind of put them in my bookmarks here just so I can look them up later so I don't forget them. Because that will be the absolute Trails of Cold Steel. Super cool. Oh, I already really like the art style. Because I'll be the first to admit I have like the absolute worst memory of all time. So I have to put them in my tab or I'll forget them. Let's see. Fantastic localization, really clever battle system, and a delicious slow burn story. Have you seen Sea of Stars that got kickstarted? I think you would like it. I have not seen that, but I'll put that in my other tab. Because pretty much everything that everyone has been recommending to me just looks incredibly good. I feel like there's this constant battle with gamers of like trying to take care of their backlog of games they've never played while also playing the new games that just come out, you know? It's like this constant battle. Sea of Stars by Sabotage Studio. Very interesting. Alright, I will definitely look at Trails. Why do I want to say Trials? Trails of Cold Steel and Sea of Stars. Those both look actually really, really cool. That would be really interesting to see someone demake a Polygon game. I would love to see that happen. I totally agree. Like, there was a team that did, I think, the bombing mission of Final Fantasy VII, like the opening scene, in a like side-scrolling platformer kind of way, and it just looked so cool. Didn't they do that with Dragon Quest XI for the Switch? Did they do that? Is there like something you can turn on it and it like turns it into a 2D game? But yeah, dude, if we could get like Final Fantasy VII look like in Final Fantasy VI graphics, I would love to see that. I just think there's probably not enough people like us, you know, that love 2D games that much, that, you know, for a developer to spend time, the developers to spend time doing that, you know. But at the same time, I feel like it'd be so much cheaper for them to make a 2D style Final Fantasy VII than it would be to make a action gigantic world Final Fantasy VII. I don't know. It'd be cool if they did both, but that's now I'm asking for way too much. I think there's a classic mode that uses sprites. No way. Really? No way. Oh, it was for the 3DS rip. I was gonna be like, dude, no freaking way. Are you serious? So yeah, I have Dragon Quest XI for, I think, the PS4. I didn't finish that one either. I'm so terrible at finishing some games. But yeah, I think I have it for the PS4. I don't know. I feel like the auto battle stuff kind of started feeling a little weird. Did either of you use the auto battle mechanic at all? I don't want to say it was like, I don't know. I didn't like the auto battle stuff on it. I mean, of course you don't have to use it. You can totally turn it off. No, I don't like the auto battle. I resisted so long when I was playing Final Fantasy VIII and using the speed up functionality, you know, where they go like super, like 3 times speed and you can like grind battles way faster. I resisted using that for so long because I felt like cheating. Yeah, I think the demand just isn't there for the AAA companies to take a risk like that. Which game's auto battle? Oh, Dragon Quest XI's auto battle. Yeah, in Dragon Quest XI, you can like switch it to auto battle, and literally once you get in random encounters, the AI just plays for you. Which, I mean, if you're grinding, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm the kind of person like to each their own. So if there are some people that like that, to each their own. I still can't see the castle. Princess, Alexandria may only mean the castle to you, but hey, are you making fun of me for being naive? No, I'm not. It's okay. Let's go. Salute. But I do agree. I don't think there is enough of a demand for them to take a risk like that. I think you're totally right. Unfortunately. But it would be so cool, you know? It is a shame that some people really do look at those 2D graphics though and just see them as lesser versions of like those people who just crave the most modern, most realistic looking graphics, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, that's incredibly important, and I love games like that. But like, not every game has to look like, I don't know, not every game has to look like The Last of Us Part 2, you know? Like, incredibly realistic. I'm more comfortable out here. The rest area is full of rowdy men. I wanted to stay by his side, but I have my work too. This just makes me want to, like, buy a flute. This is just such calming, beautiful music. Sprites are timeless. They really are. They really, really are. And I think there's, like, you know, there's ways of, there's appreciation for, like, every generation of games. But I just totally think those Super Nintendo sprites, those 16-bit sprites of Super Mario World and Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI, I like stuff like that. I totally think is timeless. I think it's, you know, I'm still gonna want to be playing it in 20 years. You know, even when graphics are like you can't tell the difference between a human and a computer generated character. Even when that time comes, I'm still gonna love 2D graphics. You know, they're just beautiful. This must be the rest area. Let us gather information while we wait for the car to Alexandria. Southgate serves as a gate to airships as well as cable car travelers. The gate's broken right now. The airships can't pass through. Hey there, welcome. How's business? You sell anything special? Gotta try our famous bunt cake? The perfect gift for the family. Take one home today for your loved ones. It's the world-famous Southgate Bunt Cake. Bunt cake? Is that probably like fruit cake? I've actually never tried fruit cake. Magnet. Give Nazna a letter. Letter from Grimo. Kupo. Thanks for the delivery. I feel so sad whenever I see Mary, that part-time worker. Have you ever fallen in love? I've never fallen in love before, Kupo. If watching someone else in love is so difficult, I wonder how difficult it is to actually fall in love myself. I'm never gonna fall in love. It's just not worth it. Aww. It's definitely worth it to fall in love, my friend, if you find the right person. Would you not agree, One Heart? You just gotta find that right person. Heck yeah. Find you a person that loves video games as much as you do. I'm mapping out a plan for the rest of our journey. Get your supplies together before you cross the border. Oh. So convenient they have Steiner and Garnett items specifically at this one shop. Steepled hats. Also, world famous bunt cake. Isn't that just like a huge donut cake? Bunt cake. Is a bundt cake a real thing? I didn't even know a bundt cake was a real thing. I'm curious now. Magus hat. Ooh, and then yeah, some items. We don't need any of those. I will say, like, these, honestly, the images. Yo, Jake, how's it going, my friend? How you doing today, buddy? Man, I love these, like, pictures of the items. Is that weird? Like, they just look so cute and, like, all put together. They're all, like, different colors. They're all well made. Like, these, I don't know. I just find, like, I can appreciate a lot of different aspects of the games, but I just really like the images, especially the potions, how they're different colors from, like, the ethers and high potions. Just small details. They just go so long, you know? It's definitely a factor, is that it's made in bundt pan, apparently. Oh boy. Gill Waster 99. Potions, please. Should buy 99 potions. Alright, my friend, we can do that. Alright. So now we're maxed out on potions, eh? I feel like I must ask, why potions versus like Phoenix Downs or tents? Why are we maxing out our potions? Yeah, I'm good. That's good to hear, man. Doing anything like exciting today, or playing any games, just kind of hanging out? Doing anything super exciting today, Jake? Well, now we are stocked up on potions for life, so we got this. Alright, let's maybe see if we can equip them with some good items. Ooh, level up. Yes, we're definitely going to want to learn this one. Let's see. I'm streaming this in 45 minutes. Nice, nice. What part of 9 are you at now? I think you're a lot farther than I am, right? Probably everyone streaming this is farther along than I am. I tend to talk just a little bit. Ooh, life. We should probably learn life. I think air racket does more damage though. We want life magic for sure. No, only just got into Lindblum. Gotcha. Man, Garnet has such little health. I guess she is pretty weak. Okay. And then we get Marcus, I think. Received Phoenix Downs. And my buddy Sinra, he did the Gill Waster 99, and he had me get 99 wrists from Dolly. And then you're able to synthesize those wrists with, I think it's a steepled hat, and you can get cotton robes. And then we ended up selling them and just making a ton of profit. Got our own little side hustle here in Final Fantasy IX. This car is going back to Lindblum territory. Let's see. Welcome to Summit Station. Yes. Oh. Thought he was asking if you want an explanation. Do you think Final Fantasy IX is your favorite Final Fantasy, Jake? It seems like we got a lot of people here who love Final Fantasy IX, and that's just awesome to hear. I feel like 9, because 10 came out so quickly from 9, I feel like 9 sometimes just gets lost. We kind of go from 7, and then 8, and then 10 just kind of comes out like right. I think 10 came out like 9 months after 9 came out. They were pretty close to each other, I think. Oh, right, yes. They're powered by mist engines and vented in Lindblum. The cars work by pulling on each other. When one car is at the bottom of the mountain, the other is at the top. And I guess, like, 10 does have the voice acting, you know, so that would probably be revolutionary in its own right. But 9 is just phenomenal. It's so good. Let's see. The car to Alexandria will be arriving shortly. What was that? The car to Lindblum just departed. I missed my ride! That voice sounds familiar. Could it be Marcus? I missed my ride. What am I gonna do now? How the heck should I know? You were the you you were the one who wanted to watch the scenery while eating Southgate bunt cake. I'm like super curious about this bunt cake now. It's like a real thing. It's 50% because potions are never bad to save on, or it's potions are never bad to save on 10 such because they're so expendable, and 50% because you don't have access to high potions yet. Right, for buying. They are never a bad thing to have. That is totally right. Especially, you know, especially not when we don't have Garnet in our party or Eco. Yeah, because then we don't have any white magic. We have to use potions. I'm gonna be late, returning to Lindblum. There's nothing we can do. I won't tell the boss. Thanks, buddy. Let's eat another bunt cake. Jeez. All I just imagine now is donuts. Scoundrels. Oh. Are you here to kidnap the princess again? Who's the big tin man? What? How dare you? He's the captain of the Knights of Pluto. Oh yeah, you're one bad actor. Urgh, have you no respect? Oh, bunt cakes? Oh my goodness. You got like a legit recipe? Classic vanilla bunt cake. That doesn't look too bad, honestly. That does not look too bad. Man, whenever we talk about food, it gets me hungry. I just look at that and my stomach's like, growl, growl, growl. That does look pretty yummy though. Definitely doesn't look like a donut. It almost looks like a cake. That frosted sugar on it looks pretty good. My sweet tooth is talking to me. You're Marcus, right? What are you doing here? Bunt. I'm having issues this morning with English apparently, so I can't spell to save my life today. Oh no, I totally have those days too. Right up like early in the morning. Like even now, I'm drinking my coffee, and I don't know if it's because I've been like full-time working 8 hours a day, and then, you know, doing streaming, and then coming home and like trying to be a good husband and clean the house and take care of our pups, but like, man, I could go for an afternoon nap, if you dig. Yeah, I definitely feel like my brain sometimes doesn't quite work as well as it should, you know? So I relate, my friend. You're Marcus, right? What are you doing here? Princess, what are you doing here? Hey, check it out. It's the princess. When we escaped from Evil Forest. Princess, you shouldn't waste your breath on criminals. Man, Steiner. Next time, you know what I've decided? Next time I play Final Fantasy IX, I'm going to rename Steiner Rusty. We're going to call him Rusty. When we escaped from Evil Forest. Princess. Steiner, that's enough. What? Can't I even talk to my friends? Friends? But they're out. Adalbert Steiner. Yes, ma'am. He's been scolded. How embarrassing. The cable car to Alexandria has arrived. It's here. But you're going to Lindblum. I know that. But you're going to Alexandria. Yeah, I'm heading to Trino. I'll see you off. Marcus is going to Trino too. Let's go, Steiner. Steiner, are you mad at me? No, ma'am. I'm coming along. I do love Steiner, though. Like, his, he is literally the most, to a fault, just loyal to a fault, character I've probably ever seen in a video game. Let's see, also, that's what I did in my playthrough, just name him Rusty. Also, it seems sleeve has been replaced by leather wrist straps in this world. Interesting. I guess you're right. I didn't even notice that on Cena or on Cinna. Good luck. Yeah, I'll save our bro. I love that so many of the characters just don't look like just like humans, you know? Like they do have some kind of markers too. So many of the characters like Cena, he just has this, I don't know. They all got like interesting looks to them. They're like very Disney inspired, you know? Got like some hippopotamus characters, got some like bird characters. So it's pretty cool. Say, why is Marcus going to Trino? Are you going to Trino too? Marcus got a deal in Trino. Deal? We'll be departing for Alexandria shortly. You'd better get on the car. You better get on the car. Princess, let us go inside. We'll be departing shortly. Clank, 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 clank. Now departing. You know, I always wondered, his like bandana is totally like covering his eyes, are they not? I feel like I've always noticed that. Like his bandanas are like just right over covering his eyes. How does he see? Why are you going to Trino, Marcus? Save our brother. Ooh. There's only one man I call bro. That's blank. We've been gathering info to cure his petrification. We finally learned about an item called Super Soft that cures all forms of petrification. No, you're totally right. He definitely does not have sleeves on. He's rocking the tank top with the leather wrists. Although the lady in front of him looks like she's got sleeves. And Garnett's got sleeves. But yeah, they like their wristbands for sure. What about Cena? Cena's going to the Tantalus hideout in Lindblom to tell the others. I see. It's my turn for questions. Yes? Where's Zidane? We separated in Lindblom. Got rid of him as soon as he got to you. Got rid of him as soon as he got you to Lindblom, huh? How could you say that? It's only because Zidane kept treating me like a child. I don't care about him. Fine. Then I don't know anything. Say, Marcus, is there any way I can help? Help with what? Well, I was partly responsible for what happened, so... No, thanks. We'll be fine on our own. But wouldn't it be better if... What was that? It might be engine trouble. Please remain in your seats while I check. That is not engine trouble. Ah! It's a demon! Demon with a pointy hat. A pointy hat. What's wrong? This is like the best version of Black Waltz too. He is like crazy. What's going on? Mission. Retrieve Princess alive. Isn't that the one we saw on the cargo ship? Monster, I'll finish you off this time. Wait, Steiner. Tell me something. Why do you want to capture me? Princess, it's too dangerous. Please stand back. Mission. Retrieve Princess alive. It's no use. It doesn't understand. But... eliminate all. Boss battle music. Oh man, he looks just all kinds of messed up. Man, they always got like really cool, what's this? Between your HP and... oh, okay. No. We'll just do regular attack. Stole a lightning staff. Let's see. Oh, we can do... let's do shell. Probably on dagger. Thunder. Man, even their weapons look so cool. That staff looks just like a staff that Yuna has in Final Fantasy X. Stole a steepled hat. It's always the first two items that are so easy to steal, and then that third one has like an insanely low percentage. of actually getting it. Ba-da-ba-do, bow, 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 now. It would be really cool one day to actually get Steiner's Excalibur 2. Good status. Wait, did our shell already wear off? No way. Was that like a 2-turn shell? I totally think our shell already wore off on Garnet. Or Dagger, excuse me. The not princess. Bow, 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 now. Yeah, it already wore off on Steiner. Wow, that is... Why'd you miss, Steiner? Marcus just got frozen. Man, the character design of the Black Waltz just looks so cool, though. His staff looks super cool. Let's see, any sword magic? No, is that literally the only one that got us minus strike? I guess so. Between the difference between your max HP and current HP. Yeah, that would be like 0 damage, so we probably won't do that one. Bow, 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 bow. Ba-da-ba-do. You know, if you're constantly healing with Garnet, this battle isn't actually very difficult. Ooh, I think we did get the hard one to steal, the Flame Staff. I think that's it. Oh, a critical hit, eh? Let's see if there's anything else we can steal. Nope. Nice. Ba-da-ba-doo. Boo. Boo. Man, if only we could summon something. Alright, Marcus, you're gonna start attacking, buddy. Bow, down, bow, down. Let's see. Should I use an ether? I got so many ethers. Why not? Why not? I feel like just the more I listen to the boss battle music, I just feel like it's not growing on me. I was hoping it would grow on me, but I feel like it's not. Whoa, 300 MP. It's pretty much like a turbo ether. I need, like, Man with a Machine Gun playing right now or something, you know? Oh, he's frozen again, damn it. Do you have a favorite boss battle theme at all, One Heart? Oh! Slade! Down! Bum, 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 bum. Just AP, okay. I feel like boss battle theme, like the Airbuster theme. Man, the Airbuster from Remake is like the coolest boss battle. I mean, aside from like the final boss, like just normal boss battle theme, dude, the Airbuster in Remake is legendary. So good. Why? Why? What did he want with me? Princess. Vermisi was attacked by an army of black mage soldiers. Stretch! Should have like a stretch channel point idea. 100 points and I'll stretch. Ooh. Big yawn. I wonder if you can catch a yawn through Twitch. Did anybody else out there yawn? Ooh, man, yawns are contagious. Or contagious. Amicia was attacked by an army of black mage soldiers. I know. Those mages wiped out the people of Burmecia. Who would do such a thing? Are you serious? How ignorant can you be? Ooh, just Marcus telling him like it is. I am. I need to go find some coffee. Work calls are finally rolling in. Oh, you're working from home though, right? One Heart? Man, I would love to just get a job working from home. Man, the amount of money my wife and I saved by not actually like physically being at our job, saving money on gas. Yeah, I'm working from home from now, or working. Man, I can't even read today, man. I can't even read. Yeah, I am working from home for now. And yeah, the amount of money you save in gas, the amount of money you can save in like car insurance or car if you have multiple cars, the amount of money you save on food, eating out for lunch. Yeah, dude, like working from home, it's the way to go. I mean, for some people. I think for me, I would love to work from home. I think that would just be a splendid idea. What do you mean? Stop it, Steiner. I know who did it. Princess? We're almost in Alexandria. I must go to the castle and see my mother. She'll listen to me. I mean, you hope she'll listen to you. Like, look at him. Look at Marcus. He, like, legitimately doesn't have eyes. I mean, he's a cool character. He's a super cool character and design and everything. I like his tattoos a lot. His tattoos are, like, similar color to his shirt. He's all about that, the tan and the blue. I think we're almost there. So, you already heard about the attack on Burmecia. Of course, I'm not like Steiner. You've changed. Me? You mean the way I talk? Not just that. Well, a lot has happened. Oh, speaking of which, yeah? I've been through tons of battles. I'm a seasoned pro now. What are you talking about? We need to find Supersoft and save Blank, right? We. Notice that we she threw in there? We. We need to find Supersoft and save Blank, right? You're gonna come along, even if I refuse, right? Of course I am. This is so exciting. Always wanted to see the marvelous architecture of Trino. I can hardly wait. And on second thought, she hasn't changed that much. Man, this music, how just calming is this? Take care. Like, if I could listen to this music and it's like raining outside, have some coffee, life would be so good. Life would be good, my friends. Cup of coffee and some chill music like this. The road splits up ahead. Go right to reach Trino and left to reach Dolly. What's this? Oh, a map. That's a pretty cool design map. Alexandria, Dolly Gate, Trino Gate. Very interesting. Part-time worker Mary, welcome. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about it and I was talking with my wife. I think what I would love to do, I'm definitely gonna go more on these channel point ideas of like the music stuff. And I think I'm gonna get like a ukulele and an ocarina. I think getting a ukulele, because it's so small, they're like this big, just play something, and then an ocarina, which is like that big. It'd be so much fun. That would just be so much fun to just have. Awesome. I hope so. I hope people would like it. I don't know, I just feel like ocarinas are pretty cool, you know, ukuleles are pretty cool. was almost thinking about a harmonica, but I mean, a harmonica through the microphone probably sound really distorted. Maybe a clarinet. Just imagine like picking this song and just starting to play clarinet on it. No amount of hardship can tear our two countries apart. 11th Regent of Lindblom, Sid the 8th. The Berkmia cable cars were built to commemorate the 20th anniversary of friendship between Lindblom and Alexandria. This is just beautiful music. This is like just repeat music for hours, you know? I think we're supposed to go this way. So let's, if we're supposed to go that way, we got to go the opposite way. That's how Final Fantasy games work, you know? Constantly exploring. Oh, yes. The village of Dali is beyond this gate. You got to go to the other gate if you want to go to Trino. Can we not get through? What if we want to go back to Dali? Oh, you want to pass through here? Got a gate pass? I guess you do. I'll open it now. I guess I could buy more wrists, right? Because those wrists and steepled hats were just... those were a good combo. Oh, Garnet's so cute. Honestly, one of the most annoying things about Final Fantasy games, and you all may disagree, but I feel like one of the most annoying things about Final Fantasy games is this just, you have to always have Zidane in your party, or you have to always have Cloud in your party, or you have to always have like Squall in your party. I really love like 10 and 12, how you can just swap the characters out whenever you want without a care in the world. And especially 12, like if you swap out to like your party leader, you can control them on the battlefield. You can have like Ash running around on the battlefield, or Balthier, or Vaughn, or whoever. You know, it's cool. It's really cool to see the other characters running around, you know? Steve-O, my friend, how you doing, buddy? Good morning. How's the stream going? You good, mate? I'm doing pretty solid myself, man. I'm a little tired, but I'm doing okay. What about you, buddy? How you doing today? Oh, man. I'm trying not to yawn. I'm trying not to yawn. I do got coffee, though, so... But yeah, it's been going pretty good, making some good progress on 9, as opposed to yesterday. Yesterday I talked so much I didn't get anywhere. Oh, I like how she does her victory pose. God, Dagger is just adorable. Or does a little foot behind the back. Cute victory pose. Victory poses are just my favorite. Dolly! I want to see if I can buy more of these wrists. But how are you doing today, my friend? Did you have a pretty solid stream? You were streaming earlier, right? We're talking about a vanilla bundt cake earlier. It actually looks pretty damn good. Because we're at the point in the game where they're like buying bundt cakes. Feels like it's been forever since I last visited. I really wonder how time passes in these games, you know? Like, they were just at Dali, so the time it takes... because they went from Dali to Lindblom. And then they split off. I wonder how long it's been. Like, in the game world, you know? Is it like a 1 week thing, a 2 week thing, a month, a year? I'm good, mate. How was work? Yeah, I had to take my car to the garage earlier, which took a lot longer than I thought. So I was late to stream for me. Oh man, what's going on with your car? Is it okay? Dude, cars are just so expensive to... Cars are expensive. Honestly, like, one reason I would love to just buy an electric car, I mean, for a wide variety of reasons, but one of the reasons I would just love to buy, like, a Tesla, it's just, like, the maintenance costs on them are so much cheaper than, like, gas-powered cars. But work was okay. I mean, man, I'm feeling it again. Like, you already know how I feel about our corporate masters controlling us in the corporate world. But I mean, aside from that, it's been pretty good. It's been actually really, really busy. It's been actually really busy at work, and we have like signs all on our doors that say if you don't have a mask, you cannot come in. Like you have to have a mask to enter. And my God, you would be shocked as to how many people like read the sign on a door and then still open the door and come in without a mask. And I'm like, dude, I just saw you read it, man. You gotta have a mask on. My favorite is when people come in and they say, oh, I don't have a mask. Can you help me? I'm like, no, we for our safety, we need you to have a mask to come in the store for us to help you. And they're like, I don't have a mask. I'm like, well, then we can't help you. I'm sorry. They go out to their car, and like 2 minutes later, they come in with a mask. And I'm like, wow, you got a mask. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? But I mean, aside from some of those funny moments, like, it's been okay. It's been okay. But how's work? You're off, right, for the whole summer, man. Rudo, how you doing, my friend? Went to the post office. I went to pay for five items to post and realized oh God, left your wallet at home. Oh man, do you have like Apple Pay or anything you could use on your phone or something? I've seen some videos of people being abusive to some shop workers last month because of the mask policy. I've seen a couple of them too, like being verbally abusive or being like starting to get a little uppity, you know? So I've seen stuff like that too. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's just when we're just trying to protect ourselves, you know? And I feel like most people I've talked to, when I tell them like it's for our protection, it's for my protection, to protect me, most people are like, okay, like I get it. But yeah, I've had some people kind of get an attitude about it, like roll the eyes or this is stupid, and I'm like, it's just for safety, my friends. It's just for safety, you know. Nope, had to come back home and go back to the post office again. That's enough exercise for me. I've had that happen too. I went to work just a couple days ago and left my name tag in my other car, and I had to have my wife come drive it to me, like as she was going to work. So I feel ya. Ooh, do they have any steepled hats? Because those are what we need, I think. Ooh. I feel like I like to have like 10 of stuff because I know how the synthesis. You know what I mean. I know how that works in this game. Yeah, I've had moments too where like we'll go grocery shopping and I won't have my wallet on me. So we'll have to use like Apple Pay or something. Which, meh, is what it is. As long as it works, right? But yeah, when you like leave your stuff at home, it's no fun. I feel you, man. Get a couple of these, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Let's see. I always forget to buy more and then I don't have enough to synth with. Yes, same. I actually love the synthesization stuff in this game. Aside from the fact that some of the items that require you to synthesize, you can't get them later on. Like, I think this is the only time to get, like, this wrist, which, let's buy a couple of them. Yeah, or, like, I don't think you can get Dagger later. I don't think you can get Mage Masher. Do you think Marcus is human? I don't know. We were talking about that earlier. Like, the way he has his bandana over his face, covers his eyes. He's kind of got the pointy teeth out. I mean, I would assume he's human. But one cool thing I do like about this game a lot, his teeth as well. Yeah, the bottom one's kind of pointing out the fangs. One thing I really do like about this game compared to a lot of the other Final Fantasies is the characters. Like, there's so many characters that are like, you walk around the city and you have like duck characters, or you got like hippopotamus characters, or you got bird characters. It feels very Studio Ghibli / Disney movie kind of inspired, and I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I know we need iron swords for a synth later. They're so expensive. Maybe we'll grab a couple. Oh man. Off the work call, I think I missed a ton. Pretty much we just went back to Dolly and we're just kind of getting some wrists and stuff. Never really thought about that. There are loads of races in this game, so maybe he isn't human. There are. Yeah, there's like especially like right in the opening scene in Alexandria as you're walking around, there's like hippopotamus character, I think, was running the ticket booth, and I don't know. It's pretty cool though. It's very different from like a lot of other Final Fantasy's games where they're literally all humans, you know? Did you get the coin from Dolly? Was there a coin here? I think I got the cancer coin from... Burmecia. I didn't know there was. I'm just chilling out. How about you? From the stupid bird woman. Oh, for that stupid bird woman entry, you know? Yeah, the building at the end. All right, let's see if we can get it. The stupid bird woman entry now. I think, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It says mayor. Oh, do we need the mayor's key? I think he's sleeping at one point, right? Oh, I guess he's sleeping now. Or he's not sleeping. I'm the mayor of this village. Who are you? I'm busy. Get out. Sorry. Do we come back at a point where he is sleeping? I recall he's sleeping at one point. Nope, in that... At the back. Gotcha. Like over here? Back. Hey, you're a cutie. Want to go with me to an observatory nearby? The view is wonderful. That's what I want to say, but I can't leave my post. Somebody snuck in during my shift. The mayor was furious. Sounds just like... I've changed. I used to feel so embarrassed when he would talk to me like that. I'm not embarrassed at all anymore. I wonder if it's like right here she's starting to miss Zidane a little bit, you know? I remember hunting down all the coins was a bit of a pain. Just making the din-din. It's found in the Dolly windmill. It is behind the shaft of the windmill at the bottom floor. Maybe I did get it. Let's see. Maybe I did get it. Let's see. I have Cancer and Aries. I wonder which one it is. Might go for a quick swim. Oh my goodness. I haven't been swimming in... God, I haven't been swimming in so long. You know, when you haven't gone swimming in so long, the feeling of just like floating in the water and just floating and feeling all of your limbs just be... Oh, it's such a good feeling. Oh, Aries is the one. Gotcha. Nice. Nice. I love swimming. Dude, same. Alright, I forgot you're in a different time zone. The swim sounds so nice right now. Dude, just... That does. There's a place where my wife and I go to up here, just like literally in the middle of nowhere. Can't get the treasure box with the windmill turning. And it's just so beautiful. It's just completely covered by trees and it's a gorgeous little swim spot. It's cold, it's freaking cold. But like once you adjust to it in summertime, not that bad. Most of the places out here have swimming pools and there are loads of community pools. Have you noticed, are things kind of getting back a little bit more back to normal where you're at, Steve-O? It's funny, my wife and I work at the exact same company, but she works a little bit more south in Oregon, and I work a little bit more east-ish in Washington. And where she works at, which is a very big shopping location, everything is completely dead. There's like nobody shopping there. There's nobody there. Like she just sits around all day, like not doing anything. But where I work at, which is more in a neighborhood area, oh my gosh, we are like swamped busy all day. So things are definitely looking more normal, at least where I'm at on my side of the area. What about you guys? Are things kind of coming back to normal a little bit where you're at? People kind of starting to go back to normal life? It is kind of back to normal now. People still wearing masks and stuff, but a lot has opened up. Death figures are very low now. Shopping centers, malls are open now. There are some restrictions on how many people can enter the shops and stuff, though. Same, actually. Very, very, very similar what's happening around me as well. The masks are usually required, yeah. Pretty much everything around me too is opening up. They just have the masks and like how many people can be in the building. Wasn't so a year ago. It was a beautiful farm. Farm's been destroyed and everyone's holed up underground. Don't you think Queen Braun's policy changes are a bit drastic? Yes, I do. I do, ma'am. I'll do my best to get back to your farm. You really are very strange, you know that? Oh. We all tended to the farm. An elixir. Nice. I think there's like something at the observatory too. Is there one of these coins, I think, here at the observatory? Such strange times that we find ourselves in. I could not agree more. It is a little interesting when you think about it, everyone, that we are definitely living through history right now. And I mean, I guess we're always living through history, but like, we are in a very, very, very unique time for sure. Like, there is going to be a whole chapter in the history books, if not more, to what's going on right now. I'm really, as somebody that works in the retail industry myself, I'm just very curious how it's going to affect retail. Because through all of this staying home, people more than ever have been incentivized to shop online, to call over the phone, to literally not go into stores. So as somebody that works in a store, I'm curious how it's going to pan out. Louisiana never stopped here. If it weren't for the orders made that businesses wear masks, nothing would have changed, and you would still see whole businesses ignoring that. They just wear the mask as a chin strap? As a chin strap? What? I no coin here, but there's a side quest with getting coffee for the dude. Coffee, I think, yeah, I think I remember that. They used it as a beacon for the cargo ship. That's, yeah, I've had some people come into my store with like masks on and they literally pull it down to talk, and I'm like, dude, you got to wear the mask, man. This isn't a, it's not an accessory, it's not an add-on, it's not a necklace. Like, if you're wearing a mask, you got to wear a mask. So, yeah, that's crazy. I love coffee. I love coffee too, my friend. Cheers to all of you. Cheers to good coffee. All right. You are defeating the purpose at that point. Cheers. There is nothing quite like a good I'll drink to coffee. Same. There's nothing quite like that first sip of coffee in the morning, you know? Man, I love coffee so much, I'll literally be going to bed. I'll be laying in bed, dozing off, and just like, can't wait for coffee in the morning. Carved spider, eh? Man, the thunder magic is so intense in this game. It like rumbles my headphones. Oh, we stole a potion. Alright, Marcus. Maybe we'll steal from the Python. What does the Python got? Rapid fire. That is really crazy, though, honestly, about Louisiana. Like, I'm happy things seem to be kind of dying down. Part of me, though, is, like, really, really concerned about what's going to happen after, like, with all these protests going on. Not even just in the US, but like all around the world there are protests going on, and I absolutely believe they have reason to peacefully protest, and they have all the support and love in the world from me. But at the same time, like, all these people next to each other, like during a pandemic, during this whole corona thing, like, how is that going to affect them, affect everyone, affect all the people they interact with, you know? I mean, the whole point of social distancing was to not get everyone sick. Flu season worries me greatly. Oh, same, man. Dude, it's just so crazy to think about. The good thing about a lot of the protests is that they have PPE. PPE. What's PPE? I don't know if I know what that is. I know I see a lot of them where a lot of people have masks on. But man, there are some people who like don't wear masks because of like a political statement, or they don't believe in this, and I'm just like, I don't have positive words for them. I mean, of course, I'm very libertarian in the idea, like, let people do what they want to do as long as they don't harm others, you know, and everyone's consenting, but like, dude, you're just risking yourself greatly, and you're risking others, and it's just what, as Steve-O said, what weird times we live in. Personal protection equipment, masks and such. Gotcha. Want to pass through? You gotta have a gate pass to pass through here. You got a gate pass? I guess you do. I'll open it now. Go Garnet. I just love the way she walks. She does like like, am I crazy? She just does like the cutest walk. You go, girl. $1610 gil. I wonder if this skill is random, or if it's like different on each playthrough. Man, that is a terrible bridge. I was about to make a American infrastructure joke, but I won't. Looks like our road's in Portland. Oh. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to make any stuff like that, but world's crazy right now. World's crazy right now. We gotta lower the gate first. Show me your gate pass. Yep, this is it. Hey, will you lower the gate? Be careful out there. Be careful out there. Those words ring very true these days. Would you not agree, everyone? Be careful out there. Trino. What do they say? The city that never sleeps? Hey. Bum bum. I could really go for some more. Quiz time. Ghost. Or handouts. Like the magic pots in 7. Give me elixirs. Much appreciated. Please give my regards to Ladybug. This music's like so happy. Oh yeah. We got a high potion too. On the mod I was talking about before, you can put the game in widescreen. It doesn't stretch it. Really? It's really cool as you can see how the game works. Stuff like characters hidden just off screen until they're ready and stuff. Really? Man, I'm so intrigued by playing these games on PC. Honestly, specifically for the mods. Like seeing the 7 new threat stuff, just so cool. And seeing the 8, like all the backdrops and everything touched up. But that, like in widescreen, at first I was just thinking widescreen is going to stretch everything out, you know? Because I can do that like on my monitor. But if you actually get to see characters, like additional stuff hidden behind there, that's pretty cool. That is super cool. I think the only thing is I've never installed mods before. I've never like done a whole mod thing, but everyone says it's pretty easy. That would be really cool though. Yeah, because then I could play it in 16:9 versus, what is this, 4:3? Yeah, it is really cool. We'll tag in some pictures on Twitter. Totally. I would love to see. That would be awesome. I'm just looking at my layout now and I'm like, oh, what this would look like in 16:9. Steam Workshop makes things pretty easy. I'm so intrigued, honestly. I will really have to check it out. Do they have stuff like that for other PlayStation 1 and games? Like, do they have that for like Chrono Cross and Vagrant Story and Legend of Dragoon, like those kind of games? Ooh. It's probably like on a game-by-game basis, I'd assume, right? The mods? Good question. Or even like, ooh, like some of the SNES stuff. Like if they had Final Fantasy VI, widescreen stretched. Oh, man. Not stretched, but like widescreen version of it. Oh my goodness. Take all of my money. Take it all. Maybe let me pay rent, but take the rest of it. I am extremely intrigued, honestly. I really am. Yeah, it's just whatever the community feels like putting into it. Dropped into a stream by King the other day, and he had some 8 mods. Yes, he's doing 8 like upscaled. The only thing I think I saw was the upscale, but does he have other stuff aside from the backgrounds being upscaled? The stretch, the widescreen is incredibly intriguing. Let's see. I have the OG7 on my Steam, but King's mods made me wishlist the others. So you buy the game on Steam, right? For 10 or 20 bucks or whatever. Do you have to pay for the mods as well? I mean, I would assume you might have to pay for them because of the work people put into it. No, mods are free? Maybe S6 has a PC port. Stuff like Vagrant Story and Legend of Dragoon never got a PC port, and I don't think any PS emulator has texture injections. Gotcha. Most mods are free, mostly community. Dude, that's so cool. Just people play a game and they like it, and they're just like, but it's not perfect. There's stuff I want to add. That's cool. That's cool. People that love the game and want to improve it, right? Man, I mean, I feel that with stuff like this, like changing the pre-rendered backdrops to being like fully textured, that would be awesome. And I guess other people must have thought that too and did something about it. Very intrigued, honestly. I'm gonna look more into this, and I think if I do like a Final Fantasy 6 or 5 or 4 playthrough, that would be interesting. I think like a widescreen version of it would be awesome. As long as it's not stretched, because... So I have a ultra-wide monitor, like a 38-inch LG ultra-wide monitor. And when I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake... Oh, I probably should have tried stealing from them. When I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, I was debating if I wanted to do it stretched to fill the whole monitor, or to just have the black bars on the side, and... I tried it stretched for like 5 minutes and I couldn't do it. It just looked so stretched. It just looked bad. I couldn't do it. But it's interesting because when my... Oh, holy crap, dude. Like one-shotted Steiner. When my wife was streaming... Breath of the Wild, her one time that she actually streamed, she did a great job too. When she did her stream for the one time, Garnet, why'd you attack? You should have used life. She had Breath of the Wild stretched across the ultra wide, and it looked stretched, but it didn't look as bad as Remake. White magic life. I did that with Turtles in Time, and that is how you end up with fat turtles. But whatever works, right? Whatever works. Oh, Chestnut. This Chestnut attack hits. Oh! Okay. Turtles in Time. I've never played Turtles in Time, but I know that's like one of the most beloved video games of all time. It's pretty short too, isn't it? Like you could probably... I've heard people say you can play Turtles in Time in like a few hours. It's really fun to just chill with. I feel like I need a game like that, you know? A lot of these games I'm playing are like very story focused and very character focused, which I absolutely love. Can't have any more potions. I hope because I'm not maxed out on potions, I hope I can still get other items. I would assume so. But I need like a fun, chill game. Something like not story focused, something that's just, I don't know. Like a shooter, you know? Something that's just can turn your mind off and go. I'm trying to think of what would be good. What would be a good one? So you have a Switch? I do have a Switch. Yeah, we have let's see, we have a PS3, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and the Super Nintendo Classic, and a DS. We have a DS too. I had an Xbox One, but I literally just bought it for Halo, and then after I'd played all the Halos multiple times, I was just like, I'm really not using this at all. Like, so we just ended up selling it. But I mean, the Xbox Series 1X is backwards. I think they say it's backwards compatible with everything. So like, I'm definitely gonna get that one, and then just, yeah, I think I'll get the Xbox Series 1X. Do you have a Switch, One Heart? The Switch is just one of the coolest consoles ever made, in my opinion. Like, how it's implemented, how well it's executed is just awesome. It's a cool console. Plus, it has possibly my absolute #1 favorite game of this entire generation that I've played, Breath of the Wild. Might be my absolute favorite game of this whole generation. And that's hard to say over remake, but like, Breath of the Wild is a life-changing game for me. Super Mario Maker 2 is good for that if you like Mario. I do love Mario. I do have a Switch. I love it. Breath of the Wild is my jam. Same. Breath of the Wild like completely changed the way I view video games in a way that I don't know if a game ever has. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Just like, and we've talked about it, I know, like the physics mechanics of it is just revolutionary, I feel like. And I mean, I totally respect people who maybe don't like it, or like just think it's really open and, you know, not much of a story, or there's not like not much direction, which I mean, that's like totally fair for their opinions and stuff. But like, I love Breath of the Wild. It is absolutely it's my favorite Zelda I've ever played, and I think it's just top 5, maybe top 3 favorite video games of all time. I'm so happy my wife relentlessly pressured me into playing it. Because we bought a Switch. We bought a Switch just for her. Well, honestly, just for her at the very beginning. Because she really wanted to play Breath of the Wild because she loves Zelda. And I never played it. I think it was just so open world and so big. I was just like, I'm going to have a time commitment to do it. And then I finally just took the time and played it, and I was in love. It was awesome. Love at first sight. I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fanboy, though I always have to remember I may be biased. I have all the history and monster books and some statuses. My Switch case is Legend of Zelda. Nice! It's a way of life for me, for real. Dude, that's super awesome. I'm guessing you have like the Ultimanias and stuff. Yeah, I saw them at Barnes & Noble one time and really wanted to buy them. Yeah, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild is great. I totally agree, Steve-O. It is just incredible. I was so spoiled, man. I played God of War and then Breath of the Wild back to back. I was just an amazing 2 months of gaming. Yeah, I mean, even when I was playing Remake, there was parts where I'm just like... There's parts in Remake where I was just like, man, why can't I go over here? Or why can't I climb up this? Or why is there no jump button? You know, Breath of the Wild just makes me want to climb everywhere. Why can't I climb this mountain? Ooh. Juan's Dwelling. I think there's one in here, if I can remember, one of the coins. Ether. I know I think the 13th one is here. But I think there's also an additional one. Yep. Bruto's waiting. He's like, I got you. Let's see. I think it's hidden somewhere. Oh, there we go. Scorpio. And then if I can recall, I think the 13th one is like the hot spring once you get them all. HP and MP restored. Although I could be wrong on the 13th one. I can just hear like the hot spring bubbles in my headphones. Alright, and then I think one is over here. Received ether. Top shelf item. There's some writing on the wall. Someone measured height here. Let's see. 6 months since I adopted Vivi. Still too small to eat? Come on, Dagger, you should notice that. Yeah, there is another one here, but you need all 12 first. Oh, and there's something with the clock, right? You can change the clock to a specific time, I think. Clock has stopped. It must have stopped recently. Oh, it stopped the week before I left Alexandria. I remember there's something to that clock. There's something at the bottom of the ledge in the ocean. Looks like foam. Looks like foam because of Chocobo Hot and Cold, right? I actually really like the Chocobo Hot and Cold minigame. I've heard a lot of people don't like it because it's grindy, but it helped so much with the speed up functionality. It feels just so much better. Same, it is the best. Okay, I love it a lot too. Every year for my birthday, my wife is sure to get me something Legend of Zelda related, just in case the other things she got wasn't something I wasn't crazy about. Makes things easy for her. You scored, my friend. Go you. That is just an awesome wife. You know, I feel so fortunate sometimes that my wife, she's very similar in that regard. Like she loves video games just as much as I do. She is just super supportive. So just having someone, you know, I can relate to in that regard is just, you know, when you have that partner that's just super badass and along the ride with you, it just, life is so much better. Made some YouTube videos for map locations a few years ago. People seem to not be able to find the ultimate weapon. Which ultimate weapon? Zidane's? It's pretty great. Yep. Absolutely. Or just like all the ultimate weapons. Yeah, the ones that you probably have to do Chocobo Hot and Cold for. Alright, so I think I'm gonna call my stream here today. I think I'm gonna save. But before we go, One Heart, my friend, I think we need to get some pup treats in. I still got that pulled up for you. So I think I heard some running around out there. So I'm gonna run and grab the pups, and we're gonna have a cute treat feast, my friend. Pup love time. It is pup love time. I'll be right back. I got them right here for them. Those spoiled doggies. Oh. Wife even knew. Oh, wife even knew. Oh. Layla, do you want a treat? Oh my god, she's like, give it to me. Jeez. You see that? Yeah, can you say hi to the world? Say, I'm Layla. Layla, yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. She's like, get off of me and just give me more treats. That is Layla. She cares nothing but treats and more treats. Alright, Mr. Booker. Yeah, you're the sweetheart. You're the cute one. Well, they're all pretty cute, but... You want a treat? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you're the cuddly one. You cuddle. You're cute. Okay, can you get down? Can you get down? One day my whole table is just gonna like collapse under this. And Ellie? Ellie? Ellie. Ellie? Yeah, can you say hi? You're the short one. You barely get up there. Yeah, you're so cute. Alright, and we'll do one more, since we had to wait a little bit. Alright, Booker, you want one more? Come here. Oh my god. Woo! They love these. Chat will single-handedly make your bumps chunky. We walk them, so... And they're like bite-sized, so... Yeah. Is that yummy? Yeah, is that yummy? Can you get down? Can you get down? The regular treats are like pretty big, actually. But yeah, these ones, they're pretty short. Or we cut them up so we can give them multiples. Ellie? Alright, little Ellie. Come on, you're so tiny. Can we get your little head up? Say hi, world. Yeah. And last but not least, Layla. Layla. Come here. Oh boy. He's like, feed me. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, was that yummy? Was that yummy? And then she's like, then she immediately runs away. She just immediately runs away without a care in the world. She's just like, feed me treats. I'm out of here. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Cute pups, right? They make the world go round. Alright, One Heart. Rudo, Stevo, anybody else watching, I think we're gonna call it for today, my friends. I had an awesome stream. I can't believe we hit 100. We hit 100 followers today. That is a milestone, I feel like. And thanks for the stream, man. Thank you, One Heart. Thank you. Just thank you, everyone that decided to spend a little bit of your day with me today, playing some Final Fantasy IX and having some good conversations. But like always, before we finish, we gotta do a raid. Gotta do a raid, spread some of that Final Fantasy love, spread some positivity out there, make some people's days a little bit better. It's just always a solid way to end the stream, right? Rudo, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out today as well, my friend. All of you, always. I am just immensely appreciative. Let's see who else is streaming. Let's see. We got anyone playing Final Fantasy IX or any of our good buddies streaming? Let's see. Ooh, actually a really good buddy of mine, Rage of Bush. Super cool guy. He's playing Final Fantasy IX right now as well, so I think we'll go give Rage of Bush some love. Yeah, super nice guy. Be sure. Bush, yes. Yes, I think we'll do Bush. Super nice guy. So let's do raid channel. Rage up, Bush. All right, it is raid time. Again, thank you all so much for hanging out during the stream. If you guys haven't already, if you guys didn't know already, I do make compilations of all this stuff and upload them on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see a little bit more, I do have some more there for you. And then you can also follow me on Twitter if you want to see some of my thoughts spill out into the internet world, which is always fun. So thank you all again. I'll be back same time tomorrow, 7 a.m. And it's raid time. Woo! What? Goodbye, Steve-O. You all have an awesome day, my friends. You'll have an awesome day. Awesome stream. Thank you all so much. Raid time!